because of time, I will jump other covenants. There's a Mosaic covenant about the Sabbath day. When God says, okay, son, you know what, Moses, they would walk for 6 days. But on the 7th day, they should not walk. Because originally, this was the plan. Are you following me? But let me introduce just 1 day out of the 7 days so they will not walk. But on that day, I provide. Let's read it. Exodus, quickly. Exodus 16. Why do you worry? And they journeyed from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came to the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the month, 2nd month, after they departed from the land of Egypt. Now watch. Then the whole congregation of the children of Israel complained against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said to them, oh, that we may have died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, where we sat by the pots of meat. Is it referral to food again? May God help man and food. I say, may God help you and food. See, there were pots of meat and which we ate bread to the full. For you have brought us out of the wilderness to kill the whole assembly with what? Hunger. Then the Lord said to Moses, behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather certain quota every day, that I may test them. Now listen. So, the wilderness of Sin was the wilderness that had a peculiar history. It was a history of the worship of the moon god. Follow me? Now, the moon god, the name in Mesopotamia was Sin. And the moon god was believed to bring blessing, bring food and prosperity. That was where they were. So each time you think about hunger in the spirit, watch it, because you are literally in the wilderness of sin. Because God's dimension is to get you relaxed and to understand that you've been designed to tend. And he wants to get you back to tending. And so God was telling Moses, listen, even though you are in the wilderness of sin, where there was a dependence on other gods, now I want to show you the original plan. I will rain down what? Bread from heaven. Let me show you what's happening. How many of us work? Can I see my hands? If you work, show me your hands. Okay, if you want to work, show me your hands. If you're studying, can I see your hands? Now, I want to do a quick calculation so to understand what I'm referring to. How many hours do you work in Lagos, say, in a day? Average work. How many hours? 9? Talk to me. So, 9 hours. So that means you wake up around, you start work around 8. So you begin work at 8 up till about 5, which will be, or 6, which will be like 8, 9 hours. But you remember that before you begin the work, there is pre-work. So you wake up at 6. So if you add that to the equation, at 4. So let's say for the average is 5. Wake up at 5. So if you add 5 to the hours, that's how many hours now? That's going to about 13 hours. Now, when you finish work at 6, is that the end of work? So there is post-work. So when do you get home? Pardon? Around 9. So let's add an extra 3 hours. Now it's what? 16 hours. Am I right? Now, at the end of getting home at 9, is that the end of work? So most of you still receive text messages from their boss saying, even though you've left the office, the work continues. Is that right? So say maybe an extra 2 or 3 hours or 1 hour. Now, at the end of every work, what is that all? Then you remember that you haven't caught up on 2 episodes of Netflix. You know what I mean? So you quickly, I like the sister, she says hallelujah. So you add maybe 1 or 2 extra hours to the equation. That's now 17 hours. Am I right? So when do you go to bed? About 11 or 12. Do you realize that when you go to bed, it's for sleep, but you walk so much that you continue the walk in a dream? Do you understand what I mean? And how do you know it is true? Because when you walk, you are tired, you get tired. So anytime you wake up from sleep, when you are supposed to be refreshed, and you are tired, it means you've been walking. Even in the dream. So maybe you add an extra 2 or 3 hours to the equation. Now you realize that you've basically walk up to 20 hours in a day. Now look at when it gets worse. So most of you now convince your mind, okay, and say, hey mind, it is fine. After all, there is Sunday service. Because I am confident, many of you who show up on Sunday, nobody sees your brake light in midweek fellowship. I feel it. So that's not even in view. It's not even a point of consideration. So the devil, your mind convinces you that, don't worry, on Sunday I will give Sunday to God. Lord! And you even speak in tongues when you are doing this prayer. Say, Lord, I will dedicate Sunday to you. Then you arrive on Sunday, and in the middle of service, you start sleeping. Because you are now benefiting from the stress of the week. So even the time you are located to God, you are still stealing from it. Now, I want to make a point. So you allocate time to the Ancient of Days. Are you okay? You, small, tiny you. Do you know who you are dealing with?